I wanted to make one final point, which was about the 2010 election cycle, because something very important happened there. That the elections in 2010 were preceded by three corporate catastrophes. One was the BP oil spill that destroyed an entire ecosystem and a way of life in the Gulf of Mexico. One was the collapsing coal mines in West Virginia of the Massey Corporation, which cost 29 people their lives. And the third, perhaps the biggest of all, was the catastrophic subprime mortgage meltdown on Wall Street, which cost the American people trillions of dollars. And in the wake of those three fantastic failures of corporate America and victories for deregulation, because they were all about corporate deregulation and corporations insinuating themselves into governmental and regulatory process, the Supreme Court handed down the Citizens United decision, unleashing hundreds of millions of dollars of corporate money in the 2010 elections, allowing for a wipeout across the country, Republican takeovers of the state legislatures, and then the gerrymandering of congressional districts, so that in this election cycle, despite the fact that more than 1 million Americans more voted for Democratic candidates for Congress, we still have a Republican stranglehold in the U.S. House of Representatives because of the gerrymandered districts that were paid for by the corporate money in the 2010 election that should have been about how to rein in corporate power, but because of the corporate money was all about empowering and enthroning and emboldening the corporations to further take over our economy and our politics. So there's one question that really faces the American people that's being asked in state capitals across America today, which is, are you going to lie down and let the big corporations roll all over you? Is that what we're going to do? Or are we going to stand up and reclaim the American Constitution for we the people of the United States? That's the task before us. That's why we're here today. And we urge Congress to do the right thing, to move quickly on a constitutional amendment so we can ratify it here in Maryland. Thank you very much for coming.
And now several of the NGOs that are helping to sponsor this event are going to speak. We just want to thank everyone again. But it's really these organizations that help get citizens activated, and we want everyone to be engaged and activated. There's some sheets that we'll pass out that you should have access to on what the next steps are. But without further ado, here's Jennifer with Common Cause.
Thank you. My name is Jennifer Bevan-Dangel. I'm the State Director for Maryland Common Cause. When the Citizens United ruling came down 3 years ago, we thought we had time to build the popular support and take our time in overturning it. But in the wake of last year's elections, when we saw unprecedented amounts of money flooding the system, we're reminded of Dr. Martin Luther King's words, the urgency of now. We don't have time. Now is the time. The people support overturning this terrible decision, and we're very excited to see the people here and our elected officials here today to take the first step and make that happen. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you all so much for being here. My name is Laura Muth. I'm the Democracy Associate with Maryland PIRG, and
turn the microphone on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Great. So my name is Laura Muth. I'm the Democracy Associate with Maryland PIRG, and I am so glad to see you all here today on the 3rd anniversary of the Citizens United decision. As we have all, that seems bad.
Sorry.
As we have all seen in the elections since the Citizens United decision, this campaign environment creates very clear winners and losers. And first and foremost, this campaign environment favors special interests over the public interest. It favors large, wealthy donors over everyday citizens. In fact, 32 mega donors giving to super PACs were able to equal every single dollar donated to both the Obama campaign and the Romney campaign combined by individual citizens. So that was 32 mega donors equaling the contributions of 3.7 million ordinary donors. If we take the equation of speech and money literally, that means that those mega donors were speaking at over 100,000 times the volume of an ordinary citizen. And that is not what our democracy is about. We also found that this campaign environment favors secrecy and anonymous donors over accountability, over voters seeking to make informed decisions. It creates a system where people can even create shell corporations and shell organizations to contribute through secretly so that no one knows. Is this working at all?
Yes.
Great, okay. Great, okay. So, sorry about that. So it creates a system where people can create shell corporations, shell organizations to keep their funders secret, and that hides from voters not only information about who these ads and who these politicians might be representing, but also from getting the full picture of how distorted our system is. This system favors incumbents over challengers and grassroots candidates because incumbents have greater access to wealthy contributors and to special interests. But the greatest casualty of the Citizens United decision has absolutely been the faith in our democracy. When people feel alienated from the political process, when they feel that special interests are able to buy our elections, our democracy is failing.
Hear, hear.
So now, more than any other time in recent memory, people are aware of this problem, they're concerned about this problem, and they're outraged about this problem. So what remains is for all of us to continue to come together, to continue to push our leaders in Annapolis and in Washington to to fulfill the promise of a government by, of, and for the people. Thank you all so much. I would like to now introduce you to one of our other organizers, Kate Planco Waybright from Progressive Maryland.
Thank you. Thanks, Laura. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for coming out today. My name is Kate Planco Waybright. As Laura mentioned, I'm here with Progressive Maryland, where I'm the interim executive director. And Progressive Maryland is an advocacy organization in the state. We have 23,000 members and supporters statewide. We also have 35 labor unions, religious groups, and community organizations that are a part of us. I can tell you this, there is very little that revs Progressive Maryland up than grassroots work to get corporate money out of politics. Hardworking Maryland families deserve a government that works for all of us, not just the special interests. And it's time to get corporate money out of Annapolis, out of Capitol Hill, out of elections, out of our democracy, so that our voices, the voices of everyday hardworking Maryland families, are the loudest in the halls of Annapolis and the halls of Capitol Hill. So you can count on Progressive Maryland to work strongly with our allies, get money out of Maryland, Common Cause, Maryland PIRG, to continue to build the grassroots momentum that's necessary to fix this problem in our state and in our country. Thank you, and thanks to all of you for coming out today.
I'm Joe Adams. I'm with Get Money Out Maryland. It's a new volunteer organization, and I think we would make more progress if we told the truth about what is happening with our elections, and if we used the right words to describe it. So I'd like to know, what do you think we should call it when elections are funded by people with interests before the legislature? Corruption, right. That's exactly what we should call it, and we need to call it that loudly and more often. Now, you know, it's against the rules to contribute to a state legislator's campaign when the General Assembly is in session, for good reason. You know, that doesn't look very good. It's unethical. It gives the appearance that we would be contributing to a campaign and influencing these legislators with money. But the day before the session, or the day after the session, sure, no problem at all. So you see, there's a fine distinction there. In one case, we have the appearance of influencing legislators with money, and in the other case, we're just actually influencing legislators with money. So the whole point of that rule is that we don't want it to be too obvious. So I'm a big fan of the American Anti-Corruption Act. That tells the truth right in the name. It's not really an act at all. It's not before Congress. It won't be before Congress until it is co-sponsored by 1 million citizen co-sponsors. So So they're up to about 300,000 co-sponsors so far in a short time. And many of you have co-sponsored it today when you signed in on the clipboards. This is an amazing federal effort that I'm very excited about. It was created and sponsored by a wide variety of people from across the political spectrum. Trevor Potter, who's a Republican, he was the lawyer for George H.W. Bush's campaign and for John McCain's presidential campaign, and also Stephen Colbert's lawyer, he was behind it. And you have Harvard professor Lawrence Lessig was behind it. You have people from the Occupy movement, people from the Tea Party are all behind it. And there's something about it on your handout, and you can find out more about it from represent.us. So the next meeting of Get Money Out Maryland is going to be in about 6 weeks from now. It's going to be on Tuesday evening, February 26th in Baltimore. So that's on your handout too. If you haven't gotten one of those blue handouts, please get one. And thank you so much. I'm very excited to be part of this event.
I just want to say, you convinced me. I'm taking all my money out of politics.
So again, we want to thank all the organizers and all of you for showing up. We hope you continue to show up on this issue. This is a marathon, as all of you already know, I'm sure. This is not going to happen in this Congress. It might not happen in the next Congress, but it will happen because it's pretty common sense. Money is not speech. We all know this. Corporations are not people. Money out, voters in. We have a few concluding remarks, but let me just note, since this was a little liberal heavy, this is a nonpartisan issue. You have leaders, Richard Posner, the Chicago school judge, has spoken out against this decision. You have Scalia's clerk, Lawrence Lessig, speaking out against this issue. You have leaders all around the country speaking out from both sides of the aisle. And I think once we get to that critical mass, we will see that change that we're looking for. Mr. Laura with some concluding remarks.
Finally, one of the important things that we've talked about today is that this secret money keeps voters uninformed. So part of our effort to keep voters informed and allow us to make our leaders more accountable, we have a new report out, $1 Billion Democracy. Those of you in the media who are here, you'll be getting it in your inboxes later, don't worry. And finally, I just want to say I am honored to be here with all of you, and I look forward to working with you all and with our lawmakers to finally get big money out of politics. Thank you all.